The roar of the crowd was deafening, a symphony of excitement and anticipation that filled the air. Thousands of voices merged into one, creating an electrifying atmosphere that could be felt in every corner of the arena. The sting of sweat in his eyes was a familiar sensation, a reminder of the countless hours of training and preparation. Each drop of sweat was a testament to his dedication and determination. Cole Young lived for this. The thrill of the fight, the rush of adrenaline, the challenge of facing an opponent head-on. It was in these moments that he felt truly alive, his senses heightened, his focus razor-sharp. An MMA fighter, he craved victory, pushing his body to its limits. Tonight was no different. Every punch, every kick, every move was executed with precision and power. He had trained for this moment, and he was ready to give it his all. He could taste the win. It was within his grasp, just a few more moments of relentless effort, and he would emerge victorious. The thought of victory fueled his determination, driving him to push harder, to fight with everything he had. But fate had other plans. The sky outside the arena darkened, storm clouds gathering ominously. It was as if the universe itself was signaling that something extraordinary was about to happen. A blast of icy wind swept through the arena. The lights flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The temperature dropped suddenly, and a sense of unease settled over the crowd. Cole felt a chill crawl down his spine. This was not just the cold, it was something more, something unnatural. He could feel it in his bones, a sense of foreboding that made his heart race. This was not part of the fight. The confusion was evident on his face as he looked around, trying to make sense of what was happening. The crowd's roar had turned into a murmur of uncertainty. A figure emerged from the shadows, eyes glowing with an unnatural light. Sub-Zero. The name sent a shiver down Cole's spine. Fear turned to adrenaline as he realized he was facing a foe unlike any he had encountered before. Cole had faced many opponents, but none like this. Sub-Zero moved with a grace and speed that seemed almost otherworldly. His presence was intimidating, his power palpable. Sub-Zero moved like a phantom, striking with icy speed. His attacks were swift and precise, each one landing with a force that took Cole by surprise. It was like fighting a ghost, an opponent who was always one step ahead. Cole fought back with everything he had. He drew on every ounce of strength, every bit of training, every piece of experience. His movements were fueled by determination and desperation, a fierce will to survive. But it was not enough. Sub-Zero's power was overwhelming, his attacks relentless. Cole could feel his strength waning, his body reaching its limits. The realization hit him hard. He was outmatched. The world spun as Sub-Zero's fist connected. The impact was like a sledgehammer, sending shockwaves through Cole's body. He could feel the air being knocked out of his lungs, the pain radiating from the point of contact. Pain exploded in Cole's chest. It was a searing, all-consuming pain that made it hard to breathe, hard to think. His vision blurred and he could feel his strength slipping away. He crashed to the ground, the roar of the crowd fading into a distant hum. The world around him seemed to slow down, the sounds becoming muffled, the lights dimming. It was as if he was being pulled into a void. As darkness closed in, a strange mark on his chest burned hot. It was a symbol he had never seen before, glowing with an intense light. The pain was excruciating, but there was something else, a sense of awakening, of power. This was only the beginning. The mark was a sign, a promise of something greater. As the darkness enveloped him, Cole knew that his journey was far from over. A new chapter was about to unfold, one that would test him in ways he had never imagined. Cole awoke in a strange new world. The air was thick with an unfamiliar energy, and the sky above him shimmered with hues he had never seen before. He felt disoriented, as if he had been transported to a place that defied the very laws of nature he once knew. Gone was the familiar sting of the ring. The echoes of his past battles in the boxing ring seemed like distant memories, replaced by an eerie silence that enveloped him. The adrenaline rush, the cheers of the crowd, the sweat and blood, all were now part of a life that felt like it belonged to someone else. In its place, a throbbing pain emanated from the mark on his chest. It was a searing sensation, as if his very soul was being branded with a purpose he couldn't yet understand. The pain was both a reminder and a warning, urging him to acknowledge the significance of the mark. It pulsed with an energy he couldn't comprehend. The mark seemed to have a life of its own, glowing and throbbing in rhythm with his heartbeat. It was as if it was trying to communicate with him, to tell him something vital about his new reality. He was in a place called Raiden's Temple. He wasn't alone. The temple was ancient, filled with statues and relics that spoke of a long-forgotten history. The air was thick with the scent of incense, and the walls were adorned with symbols that seemed to tell a story of their own. Other fighters bearing the same mark surrounded him. They were a diverse group, each with their own unique aura and presence. Some looked seasoned and battle-hardened, while others seemed as bewildered as he was. Yet they all shared the same mark, binding them together in a destiny they were only beginning to understand. Jax, a soldier with cybernetic arms, his presence was imposing, and his mechanical limbs gleamed with a cold metallic sheen. Jax's eyes held a depth of experience and a resolve that spoke of countless battles fought and won. Sonya Blade, a special forces officer with a gaze that could cut steel. Her eyes were sharp and unyielding, reflecting a determination that was both inspiring and intimidating. She carried herself with the confidence of someone who had faced death and emerged victorious. Each wore the weight of a hidden destiny, just like him. They all had stories, burdens, and destinies that were intertwined with his own. The realization that he was part of something much larger than himself began to sink in, filling him with a mix of fear and anticipation. They spoke of Mortal Kombat, a tournament of realms. The words carried a gravity that was hard to ignore. Mortal Kombat was not just a competition, it was a battle for survival. A clash of realms where the stakes were nothing less than the fate of their world. A battle for Earthrealm's survival. The very essence of their existence was on the line. The tournament was a crucible where warriors were tested, and only the strongest would prevail. The thought of what lay ahead was daunting, yet it also ignited a spark of determination within him. Cole was a chosen warrior, destined to fight alongside them. The mark on his chest was not just a symbol, it was a calling. He was chosen to stand with these warriors, to fight for Earthrealm, and to protect it from those who sought to destroy it. His destiny, they said, was to protect Earthrealm. The weight of this responsibility was immense, but it also gave him a sense of purpose he had never felt before. He was no longer just a fighter, he was a guardian, a protector of his realm, but first, he had to learn how to fight. The training was rigorous, pushing him to his limits and beyond. He had to master not just physical combat, but also the mystical arts that would allow him to harness the power of his mark. Every punch, every kick, every move was a step closer to becoming the warrior he was meant to be. The weight of their words settled upon him. The responsibility, the expectations, the fear of failure, all of it weighed heavily on his mind. He knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges, but he also knew that he couldn't turn back now. Cole, a man who lived for personal victories, now carried the fate of Earthrealm on his shoulders. His past achievements seemed insignificant compared to the monumental task that lay ahead. He had to transform from a fighter into a hero, from a man into a legend. Fear warred with a newfound sense of purpose. The fear of the unknown, of failure, of letting down those who depended on him, was a constant companion. Yet, alongside it, a sense of purpose began to grow, giving him the strength to face whatever challenges lay ahead. He had a choice to make. The path of a warrior was not an easy one, and the decision to embrace his destiny was fraught with peril. But deep down he knew that running away was not an option. He had to face his fears and rise to the occasion. Embrace his destiny or run from it. The choice was his, and his, alone. As he stood among the other warriors, he felt a surge of determination. He would not run, he would embrace his destiny, fight for Earthrealm and become the hero he was meant to be. Raiden, the god of thunder and Earthrealm's protector, appeared before them. His presence was both awe-inspiring and comforting, a beacon of hope in the face of impending doom. The air crackled with energy as he stood tall, his eyes glowing with an ethereal light. The warriors gathered around him, their faces a mix of determination and fear. They knew the stakes were high and failure was not an option. His eyes, filled with ancient wisdom, saw through Cole's uncertainty. Raiden's gaze was like a mirror reflecting Cole's deepest fears and insecurities. Yet, within that reflection, Cole also saw a glimmer of potential, a spark of greatness waiting to be ignited. Raiden's voice, calm and steady, resonated with a power that seemed to come from the very core of the Earthrealm itself. Raiden spoke of the threat facing them. Shang Tsung, sorcerer and Outworld's champion, sought to claim Earthrealm for his own. His dark magic and ruthless ambition made him a formidable foe. The sorcerer's minions, twisted and malevolent, were ready to unleash chaos and destruction. The warriors knew that defeating Shang Tsung would require more than just physical strength. It would demand unwavering courage and unity. To defeat Shang Tsung and his warriors, Cole had to train. He had to unlock the potential within him. He had to become a champion. The path ahead was fraught with challenges, each one designed to test his resolve and push him to his limits. Cole's journey was not just about mastering martial arts, it was about discovering his true self and embracing his destiny. Raiden introduced him to his teachers, Liu Kang, the Shaolin monk who wielded the dragon's fire, and Kung Lao, the warrior with a razor-rimmed hat. These two warriors were legends in their own right, each possessing unique skills and wisdom. Liu Kang's mastery of fire was a testament to his inner strength and discipline, while Kung Lao's agility and precision made him a deadly force on the battlefield. Liu Kang, calm and disciplined, embodied the spirit of the dragon. His every move was a dance of power and grace, a perfect harmony of mind and body. Through meditation and rigorous training, he had honed his abilities to perfection. Liu Kang's presence was a source of inspiration for Cole, a reminder that true strength comes from within. Kung Lao, swift and agile, moved with the grace of a whirlwind. His razor-rimmed hat was not just a weapon but an extension of his very being. Every strike, every movement was executed with precision and speed. Kung Lao's training sessions were intense, pushing Cole to develop his reflexes and agility to new heights. Together, they would push Cole beyond his limits, forging him into the warrior he was destined to be. The training was grueling, each day a relentless test of endurance and willpower. But with every challenge, Cole grew stronger, his confidence building with each small victory. The bond between the warriors deepened, their shared struggles forging a camaraderie that would be crucial in the battles to come. But time was running out. The Mortal Kombat tournament was fast approaching. The sense of urgency was palpable, a constant reminder that they had to be ready. The tournament was not just a battle for survival, it was a fight for the very soul of Earthrealm. Every moment of training, every ounce of effort was a step towards that ultimate confrontation. Cole's training began. Every day was a grueling test of strength, speed, and willpower. The physical demands were immense, but the mental challenges were even greater. Cole had to learn to control his fear, to channel his emotions into his training. Each drill, each exercise was a building block, laying the foundation for the warrior he was becoming. He learned to harness the fire within, channeling it into powerful attacks. The fire was not just a weapon, it was a manifestation of his inner strength and determination. With Liu Kang's guidance, Cole learned to control and direct this power, turning it into a formidable force. The fire became a symbol of his transformation, a beacon of his growing confidence and skill. But as his power grew, so did the doubt within him. The weight of his responsibilities, the fear of failure, and the uncertainty of the future all weighed heavily on his mind. Cole's journey was as much about overcoming his inner demons as it was about defeating his external enemies. The path to becoming a true warrior was not easy, but with the support of his mentors and the strength of his newfound abilities, Cole was determined to rise to the challenge. The training was relentless. Liu Kang pushed Cole to master his newfound powers. The fiery energy of the dragon coursed through his veins, a raw and untamed force. He sparred with Kung Lao, his hat a blur of deadly precision. Each blow received, each drop of sweat, brought him closer to his destiny. But Cole struggled. He questioned his place among these legendary warriors. He felt the pressure of a world on his shoulders. He doubted his ability to control the fire within, fearing it would consume him. "The dragon's fire burns within us all," Liu Kang said, sensing Cole's turmoil. "You must learn to control it, not let it control you." Kung Lao added, "Embrace the fire, Cole. Let it fuel your spirit, not consume it." Their words resonated deep within him. Cole looked inward, confronting his fears and insecurities. He realized that true strength lay not just in physical prowess, but in the will to overcome one's inner demons.